Okay, imagine this. It's 400,000 years ago. You're a human, but not a modern, coffee-drinking, alarm clock-ignoring human. You are a cave human. Your whole life is find food, don't get eaten, sleep, repeat. And tonight, something different happens. Lightning hits a tree. The tree starts glowing. It's warm. It's bright. It makes a sound. It moves on its own. And you have absolutely no idea what it is. You've never seen fire before. Nobody has. You are the first human in history to see fire. So, what do? Do you run? Do you touch it? Do you worship it? Do you try to eat it? Spoiler, someone definitely tried to eat it. But here's the thing. That one night, that one accident, changed the entire direction of human history forever. And nobody talks about what actually happened. Until now. First, let's be clear about something. Humans didn't invent fire. Fire was already here. Volcanoes, lightning, spontaneous combustion. Fire didn't need us. We needed it. The earliest evidence of humans using fire goes back roughly 400,000 years, found at a site in Israel called Kesem Cave. Burnt bone fragments, ash, but some researchers believe it goes back even further, up to 1,000,000 years ago. 1,000,000 years. The first time a human encountered natural fire, they didn't understand it. At all. Think about it from their perspective. This thing appears out of nowhere. It eats wood. It produces light and heat. It spreads. It makes noise. And if you get too close, it hurts you. To a brain that had never seen fire, this was basically a living creature. A very angry, very hungry living creature. So the first reaction? Run. Every single animal on Earth runs from fire. That's basic survival instinct. But then, one human stopped, turned around. And instead of running away, they walked back toward it. That moment, that one curious, slightly insane decision, is arguably the most important moment in human history. Because curiosity over fear is literally what made us human. So what actually happened that first night? Nobody ran into fire and immediately thought, "Oh great, now I'll cook my dinner." That is not how it went. The first thing humans noticed was the warmth. For a species that spent every night shivering in the dark, cold, and vulnerable to predators, suddenly there was warmth. Bright, consistent, beautiful warmth. That alone was revolutionary. The second thing they noticed? The dark disappeared. Think about what night meant before fire. Pure darkness, complete blindness. You couldn't see anything. Predators could see you. Every single night was basically a horror movie. But fire changed that. Suddenly, light. Suddenly, safety. And then, the animals stopped coming close. Lions, bears, wolves, everything that hunted humans at night, they are all terrified of fire. So for the first time in human history, ancient humans sat around a fire at night, and nothing tried to eat them. Just nothing. Can you imagine how that felt? Scientists believe this is the moment something massive happened in the human brain. Because for the first time ever, humans had free time at night. No running, no hiding, no surviving. Just sitting, together, safe, warm, in the light. And what do humans do when they have nothing to do? They talk. Here's the part that nobody taught you in school, and it's the most mind-blowing thing about fire. Fire didn't just keep humans warm. Fire literally made human brains bigger. How? Cooking. Before fire, humans ate everything raw. Meat, roots, whatever they could find. Raw food is hard to digest. It takes enormous energy for your body to break it down. Your gut was working overtime just to process a meal. But cooked food? Cooked food is pre-broken down. Your body digests it faster, easier, and extracts way more calories from it. Which means your gut didn't have to work as hard anymore. And here's where it gets wild. Your body is not stupid. It knows when something isn't needed anymore. So slowly, over thousands of generations, the human gut shrank. And all that energy that used to go to the gut, it went somewhere else. It went to the brain. Anthropologists call this the expensive tissue hypothesis. The idea that cooking food freed up enough energy to literally grow a larger brain. Richard Wrangham, a Harvard professor who has spent decades studying this, argues that cooking is the reason humans evolved such massive brains compared to every other animal. Not tools, not language, not society. Cooking. We are, quite literally, what we cook. Here's something that sounds small, but is actually enormous. Before fire, humans slept in trees, like our primate cousins. Up high, away from predators. Uncomfortable, dangerous, cold. You try sleeping properly when you're 20 feet up a tree terrified of falling. Fire changed that. With fire on the ground, predators stayed away. Humans could sleep on the ground, flat, comfortable, together. Studies on modern hunter-gatherer tribes show that when groups sleep around fire together, their sleep cycles actually synchronize. They wake at similar times. They move through sleep stages together. Communal sleeping around fire may have been one of the earliest forms of true human social bonding. Not just surviving together, actually sleeping together. Trusting each other enough to be unconscious at the same time. That's intimacy. That's community. That's the beginning of what we call civilization. And it started with a warm fire on a cold night. There's one more thing fire gave us that we almost never talk about. Stories. Think about what happens when you sit around a fire. Even today, campfire, bonfire, fireplace, something shifts. Conversations get deeper. People open up. Time slows down. There's actual research showing that firelight causes humans to enter a mild, hypnotic, relaxed state. Heart rate drops, stress lowers, social connection increases. Our ancient ancestors experienced this every single night. And in that relaxed, safe, warm state, they started doing something new. They started telling stories about things that weren't there, about the past, about the future, about things that don't exist, about gods and monsters and why the sun moves across the sky. Anthropologist Polly Weissner studied the Kalahari Bushmen, one of the oldest cultures on Earth, and found something remarkable. During the day, their conversations were about practical things, food, tools, plans. But at night, around the fire, 80% of their conversations were stories, imagination, shared myths. Firelight conversation was the first Netflix, and it's where human imagination was born. So here's what actually happened the first night humans discovered fire. They were terrified, then curious, then warm, then safe, then full, then together. One accident, one lightning bolt, one burning tree, and everything changed. The brain grew, language deepened, stories were born, sleep improved, communities formed. Everything you are right now, every thought, every memory, every conversation you've ever had, has a direct line back to that one fire. That one terrified ancient human who stopped running, turned around, and walked back toward the light. Here's the weird part, though. We still do it, every single night. We sit alone, in the dark, staring at a small, glowing light, watching stories, just like our ancestors did around the fire. The fire got smaller, the screen got brighter, but the human need for light, warmth, and stories in the dark, that never changed. 400,000 years later, and we're still doing exactly the same thing. Think about that. If this video made your brain feel things, share it with someone who needs their brain feeling things today. And subscribe, because next week we're asking another question nobody thought to ask. See you then.